I don't even feel bad for being late because Cruz wasn't even on time. So, ultimately it's okay.
I was waiting. I was
uh
waiting for your invite. I was
huh.
sitting here at my computer like, where's
Uh
this
huh.
motherfucking invite?
Like a good podcaster would.
I was just like, I'm not in
Meanwhile,
charge here.
meanwhile, I'm like, I could be late. It's my podcast. It's fine. Oh my goodness gracious! What a day. Adora called us a bunch of nerds. I hate
That's
you.
fair.
Oh, this thing was not scrolling on itself. Hello, comrades. You need to mute. Who are you talking to? Good evening, comrades. Lumpy says sounds off. The sound is off. Like it's Is the sound off, chat? Oh,
Oh, there goes everything.
it still says we're on the stage though. Hold on. What is happening? I'm not presenting anything. It's the feds. It's the federal government. They're here.
Hello.
Hello? Hi? What the fuck was that?
Sound is just fine. Tell everyone to come over here.
All right, that was weird. I don't know what the fuck just happened. I don't know why my lighting is so dark either. I'm like in a void, but
You
whatever.
look like you went into hiding. You want to tell us something?
You guys got to vouch for me here live on what happened to Nico. Oh my goodness. What is going on?
Everything breaking.
Everything is breaking, everything is falling apart. Good grief. I don't know, maybe there's just too much action going up. What it
You were
is,
just too
how
cool.
Yeah, it could be. So I got a message from the government. I don't know if everyone's been seeing this, right? This is really, really important, but I'll read it as is, and all leftists should abide by this. Yo, patriotic pervs, did you hear about Charlie Kirk getting shot in the neck? Yeah, this conservative bleep got a real hard blast right in the throat pipe, and now he's gagging for freedom. Rumor has it he took that bullet like a champ, swallowing the pain while still screaming "America first." I'd say it was a real liberal load. Others say he choked on his own hot air, but either way, he's neck deep in the drama. Send this to 10 of your hardest right-wing writers, and if you get 5 back, you'll get a patriotic pounding. Get 10 back, and you'll be throating freedom all night long. That came from Donald Trump himself, and I
Yeah, I
think we
saw it.
need to, yeah, I think we need to acknowledge that we've never had a precedent set before where the president announced the death of anybody. He really did fold like a pancake. Okay, so for the time machine, basically today, Charlie Kirk, he punched out. The clock was there. His shift ended. He took one right in the jugular vein, and not that we would ever publicly, commend and appreciate and or ever promote violence. What I'm saying is, when you're a known white supremacist, transphobe, racist, and things have gone so unstable that people who are generally like not apolitical, but who would find themselves probably liberal progressive without quite being, such a liberal, are running around and they're allegedly doing these attacks. I saw a TikTok earlier where it said that America is now in the age of lead, where stuff like this is just going to keep happening. Like, it's going to be super common.
And with that being said, with the level of political violence escalating at a pretty rapid rate, I think it behooves everyone to keep in mind the chances of some form of retaliation is high.
Oh, yeah. No, absolutely. I actually, before this live, had to have a conversation with my partner about talking to my partner's family because we have a niefling who just started college, and they're very, very open about their identity. They're very open about how they view the world, and that they're very left. And I'm like, we need to talk about the fact that I honestly think a lot of the reactionary violence is going to be targeted towards colleges.
Yeah,
absolutely,
100%.
Absolutely.
Not to bring everything down, but
right.
We're at war.
Yes.
You got to be aware of that.
Well, before we expand on that farther, for this time machine's sake, who was Charlie Kirk?
That's a great question.
So Charlie Kirk was a young man. Hold on, I gotta post this in Discord. I'm so bad at producing my own fucking podcast. Anyway, Charlie Kirk was a right-wing pundit, young man. He was 31. He's only a few years older than I. And he basically got fame. He basically got fame being sort of like being a conservative in a time where conservatives were generally regarded as just old white people and not, regular age white people. And he got famous for making ties with, be some wealthy businessmen in like Wisconsin in his early college days. Did like, conservative groups when he was in university, and then eventually co-founded the organization Turning Point USA, which has there goes screws, which has an abundance of different right-wing organizations within it. Turning Point Faith, Turning Point News, Turning Point, TikTok, all kinds of stuff. So I don't know, bro. I don't know.
They're out to get
so
us.
in a lot of ways he was like, if we're sort of making a very loose like list of like from left to right like political streamers and like around the Gen Z millennial time age difference, if Hassan was like the most popular left podcaster, right, Joe Rogan would be like the equivalent, and then after Joe Rogan would be someone as right-wing as Charlie Kirk. Charlie Kirk got famous for basically saying what conservatives weren't saying back in the day. They were saying, Charlie Kirk was saying things like how MLK was wrong for what he had did, saying that if trans athletes try to compete in sports, when he was, coming up, that he would have something to do about it, insinuating violence. They said all kinds of things, and I'm sure we'll dig through them all tonight, or at least most of them. Anyway, so he was giving a talk today at a university, and he kind of would do the same Steven Crowder shtick where he would go and be like, prove me wrong, debate. Because the whole thing is he would debate with young college kids who are generally more emotional, try to get somebody to stutter or say something kind of goofy, contradict themselves. He's a debate bro. So he's looking for like opportunities to get under your skin. He's not really there to debate in good faith. He's there to get clips, to get him money, etc. It's a business. So Buddy got popped today. That's what happened. There is a video out there. If you're squeamish, I don't encourage you to watch it. I
don't recommend most people watch it outside of just like curiosity, but it's a pretty brutal clip.
Yeah, it is. On the other hand, we've seen brutality for the last almost now 3 years, every day coming out of Gaza. So in a way, it's just kind of like, yep, that's violence. Let me go through some of these comments real quick. He was a debate bro. That's true. LOL. He was literally trying to bring up gang violence in response to being questioned about mass shooting when he got shot. That's true. His last recorded words were him saying the phrase gang violence, and then he got hit.
And part of that question was like in reference to transgender mass shooters.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, we got to keep that in mind too. Like these like the whole thing was like, this is just setting up to be a gross conversation.
Yeah. Do you remember where that shooting happened? That was last week, right?
I can't remember.
I can't remember. There's so many that happen now every day. But basically, there was a mass shooting that happened last week where the supposedly the perpetrator was a transgender person who targeted a Christian or a Catholic school, and the right has been using this as sort of a not prejudice. Oh my goodness gracious, I'm forgetting the word. This is what happens when I can't edit it live. Pre-context, like a notion to basically have like an excuse. There you go. Holy shit, it took me 3 minutes to come up with the word excuse.
Let me interrupt you real quick, because I have the absurdity, not the absurdity, but like just what the fuck. Like I tried to type in like where did that shooting happen? Because I was like, I can't remember, and I don't want to not remember. I type in mass shooting recently. There was one 3 hours ago. High school, Colorado, Denver.
Yeah, no,
Like
we were actually talking about that earlier because it was happening while this was happening. And of course, no one knows about the school shooting because of what was going on with Charlie Kirk.
Yep, exactly. But thanks for bringing that up. But yeah, basically the right was using that shooting and probably this shooting too. Ironically, though, they're not paying attention to it now, that particular groups of people in the United States should not have access to firearms, which has been one of the right wing's main talking points, was maintaining the Second Amendment. But it's the Second Amendment for me, not for thee. Particularly in this case, we're discussing removing firearms or the ability to access firearms from transgender people by unilaterally declaring throughout the country that, gender dysphoria, being transgender, is a mental disorder, and therefore you can't have access to firearms. We both know that that's pre-context to go around and do what fascists do to particular groups of people. So, not bringing us today, the interesting thing is, as hilarious as it is to see a white supremacist get what they deserve, right? It's also kind of really horrifying that the president was the one to make the announcement that Charlie had passed away, because in what I'm thinking, and maybe I'm just doomer pills, but we have the burden of being right most of the time, is that this event is going to be used as some kind of justification in order to further crackdowns. I mean, think about it. ICE is already out in large. They're all over Chicago right now. So is the National Guard. Who's to say that he can't say, well, because of gun violence and what happened to our darling, Charlie Kirk, we're going to do this too. We're going to also do this kind of crime stopping or whatever. All law and order in the name of subjugation, in the name of removing a particular population from society. So this is a huge escalation in violence in the United States.
Trump invades Utah.
Right.
You could.
No, I actually was looking it up because I was curious of like how common of a thing this was for the president to announce a death of someone who basically was like a social media personality in a real way. And like I even tried, and I'm not comparing them at all, but I was like, the most prevalent person I could think of that would be announced by a president would be like MLK. And John F. Kennedy did announce MLK's death, but it was while he was a senator, not when he was actually president. So it's like I couldn't find anything where like a president announces, something like this. So it just shows like how much they're going to use basically like almost like their darling child, Charlie Kirk, is like a symbol for what needs to happen.
And he also ordered half-mast for Charlie Kirk, which is usually not for people like Charlie Kirk.
Jesus Christ, yeah.
And I with on that line of thinking, like I think about like why National Guard's in DC in the first place is because that big balls guy got attacked. Like they're just using the military to protect their buddies.
Yeah, no, exactly. It's all, that's the thing about like fascists, right? Like until like the moment really, I should say modern day fascists, right? Because the Aussies were pretty open about it. But when they get to a point, that's the whole point of dog whistles, right? Like they have to code their language, not in order to hide what they're saying, but to have plausible deniability within the mainstream. Yeah. We're going to get to a point where they're just going to openly say it, because Charlie Kirk was already saying, pretty similar stuff like that. Charlie Kirk, here, I have it here.
I feel like we're already at that point.
I was going to say, let me pop this up real quick. I don't want to do the entire screen, so I'm just going to read it. This is from Media Matters for America. Holocaust denier and other extremists celebrate Charlie Kirk's anti-Semitic Jewish dollars attack. This was on November 8th, 2023. White nationalists and other extremist figures are embracing Turning Point USA founder and right-wing radio host Charlie Kirk comment, blaming the spread of cultural Marxist ideas on Jewish dollars. Kirk's naked anti-Semitism has ramped up amid Israel's complete siege of Gaza following a deadly October 7th attack. Since the attack, Kirk has repeatedly blamed Jewish people who donate to colleges and universities for fueling, I don't want to say that, hatred on college campuses. Before the latest conflict, Kirk and Turning Point USA demonstrated a pattern of associating with racists and anti-Semites. So, like, they've been setting the stage, you know, of when can we use our language, when can we use our ideas and put them in for fruition, you know. And I'm not saying it's going to be today or tomorrow with Charlie Kirk. I mean, at this point, goddamn, anything could happen. But like, it really could get to the point where I could see Trump very easily saying, you know, the Democrats let this happen. They're not controlling their states. You know what? We're just moving in and we're taking over.
Yep.
What do you think about people saying stuff like this will set a precedent for violence against leftists? I personally disagree, because violence against the left minorities is kicked into America. Yeah, let's talk about that for a second, because
that's already happening.
It's already happening. And just about everybody, I don't know about you, Cruz, but just about everybody else I know already. Today we were talking about how we've all basically had some kind of argument with somebody today about these liberals coming on to social media saying violence is never the answer. Violence is never the answer. We can't do this. We have to be better. And they don't understand that that's the whole fundamental problem with liberalism and American exceptionalism, is that they don't understand that the violence has already been here. I was talking with, an old friend of mine, and we were arguing, and it got pretty heated because personally, my patience is wearing thin. And they were saying that, violence isn't the answer. And I was like, well, actually, I hypothetically said this, actually, it's a good thing that, white supremacists meet their demise. And they responded something to the effect of like, well, this isn't a battlefield, Ivan. You think people are just going to go around shooting each other? 3 weeks ago, a black man was killed in my city in a very obvious homicide. You tell me this is not a battle? This is not a battlefield? This whole country has been founded on blood, on genocide. Don't tell me that this is not a battle. Don't tell me this is not a war. We've been there. So are they going to use this as like more justification? For sure. But they're already doing it.
Yeah, no, I mean, absolutely. I mean, even with my own coworkers, like we ended up in a political discussion, and one of my coworkers whose parents are from Brazil was talking about like their current fear of what everything going on and how they're probably going to be the next person targeted. And it got to a point where they're just like, I can't believe that we're basically following what happened with the Holocaust. And I sat there and I told them, I was like, you realize that Mustache Man was inspired by European settlers here in America. Like, yeah. This, we've always been set up to do this. It's ingrained in what being America is.
And, I was like, not I know only that. Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead. Oh, I was going to say, it's ingrained in us. It's ingrained in the U.S. and it's scary, but, we need to start facing reality. Like, yeah, we need to start organizing, because neither party, liberals, they're not going to save us.
And I was going to say, like, not only was Adolf inspired by European settlers here, but the policies of the U.S. in some cases were so brutal that Nazi officials were like, yeah, we can't do that. That's going to be too far. Like they thought our policies were too racist.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
We're the blueprint.
You can't sit there and say like, oh, well, I'm not like those other people. I'm not like those conservatives. I'm not like those liberals. When you don't have a class analysis, you are like them. Either at most you participate in those things, or at the very least you're okay with it. And that's where we find a lot of liberals at in their reaction to the death of Charlie Kirk, when they're saying like, oh, well, what are we supposed to do? The system is broken. I don't know. We can't be doing violence. Whether they're going to keep doing violence to you.
While actively saying things like eat the rich, guillotines, French, I'm feeling French, for referencing French Revolution, but like not actually understanding all of that is very violent.
Yeah, exactly. It's intrinsic and it's built into the foundation of the country. So, Charlie Kirk is somebody who laughed and raved at the violence that was unleashed on Gaza every day for almost 3 years. And he just got exactly what he was cheering on. That's all that happened.
Supported.
You got what you supported.
That's a good segue, because I do want to read something that was shared with us earlier by
Go ahead, Poppy.
Comrade Ash. This is from the Land Palestine account on Instagram. And it said, what they had said was, what was done to Charlie Kirk has been done to countless Palestinian babies, children, girls, boys, women, and men, not just over the past 2 years of the ongoing genocide, but decades. And whenever it happened, it's on camera and we all saw it. Charlie Kirk came out to say, I love this. I want more of this. The people who did this are great and I love them and they should keep doing it forever. So forgive me and the rest of us if we don't feel bad that this happened.
Exactly. Yeah, I pulled up the message. But yeah, exactly. Like this is who white supremacists are.
I do gotta make a correction here. As Comrade Ash said in the comments, which you can see on the screen there. Technically, Ash's very based child shared with us.
W.
W.
Raising them kids, right?
For the children.
No, because this is what white supremacists. This is who they are. This is part of white supremacy culture and society. It's a death cult. It literally, okay, nerds like Baldur's Gate, fucking the cult of Baal. That's what white supremacists are, dog. They literally have the skull and crossbones on them, bro. What do you mean?
Are we the baddies? Are we the baddies?
What are you talking about? And it's incredible when you see people like, especially right now, because I'm doing a crusade now on fucking Facebook, where like people are like, oh, thoughts and prayers for Charlie Kirk, and I'm like, he was a Nazi, and people are like, how dare you? And I'm like, why are you defending a Nazi? And then someone will snoop on my Facebook or whatever and be like, you're a communist, and it's like, you're still
Correct.
defending a Nazi though, like we haven't even gotten past that. And then they just start responding, because for most white people, Nazis don't inherently threaten their existence. And what's happening now is that violence is becoming more and more in your face, and it's being used as a political agenda. In order to, you want to feel safe, you better get cool with law and order real quick. The police, National Guard, they're coming to save you. Charlie Kirk got shot. If someone like Charlie Kirk can get shot, then maybe I'll get shot next. Maybe I'll get robbed next. Maybe I'll get killed on the train next. Mm-hmm. So we need the stormtroopers, you see, to protect us.
Well, it also comes down to like, it comes down to like Charlie Kirk himself all the time said that gun deaths were going to happen. It was an acceptable thing to occur for people to have a Second Amendment right.
Yeah, so he totally supported what just happened.
Yeah.
He's on
board.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. He just didn't expect it to happen like that, maybe, but it did.
Right.
And I will say, like, in reference to what you said earlier, I myself haven't really had that argument in my real day-to-day life. I think I've got a good group of people around me now where, like, the closest thing I got, like, no one in my life was like, oh, we shouldn't be happy about this, or we shouldn't be like talking about it, or this was inherently a bad thing or anything like that. The most I got was someone going, maybe we shouldn't be loudly celebrating it. That was the most. And she's like, maybe we quietly celebrate it, or like amongst ourselves, but maybe we don't make a bunch of posts about it. And I was like, maybe for the most people, maybe don't, we don't need a memes about it, but that's all I got.
Yeah.
I saw someone making T-shirts
Mhm.
with the actual very gruesome image of it to
That's
wear
crazy.
around. I was like, that might be too much. I probably wouldn't do that, buddy.
That's a little wild. Yeah. Sheesh.
Also, how'd you turn around that fast and make that? Goddamn.
AI, all these automatic programs, exploited
Probably.
labor, you know. Do-do-do-do-do.
I have
So,
seen I think Elon Musk had made a tweet where it's like the left is a party of violence and murder or something like that. So they are already blaming it on the vague left.
of course.
Which we don't know who did it. We don't know their motives. We don't know political ideology. We don't know any of that, but they will blame it on anyone that is vaguely left wing. So everyone should be mindful of how they're talking about it, what they're posting. And the fact that no matter what you post, especially all of us on this podcast, as we're openly talking about it and for the most part celebrating it, are targets.
Absolutely. And I'm actually going to comment that in a second. Cruz, I'm sent you the link to the TikTok where he's talking about that gun violence. I'm using StreamYard on Firefox right now, so all the controls are different. I don't know why I can't bring it up.
Why'd you do that?
You can. Because I was doing something different and new and hip.
Okay. Firefox new and hip?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah, it's the hippest.
Hey, I'm using Firefox.
Back in my day,
Back in my day, Firefox was the appropriate one to use.
Okay, Charlie. There's let's see comments real quick. The memes going around. Charlie lost the gun debate. He sure did. Charlie has always assumed that it would happen to somebody else somewhere else, but never thought it would happen to him until it was too late. Yep. Everyone thinks they're exceptions until they are not. I believe that a good number of them are upset because they can't debate Kirk anymore. Their paychecks rely on him. That's very true. I mean, you killed an entertainer in a lot of ways. You killed somebody who employed a lot of people. So they're going to be pretty pissed about that. There's a song about him already. An AI song. I hope not. Punk with a camera is wild. All right. So one thing I also wanted to say, and now that I'm forgetting, so let's see if my brain can sort of backtrack here. No, it's gone. Yeah, sort of like in general, Charlie Kirk 100% read what he saw. You got it? Cool.
Yep. Took a second.
No sound, baby girl.
Hang on. Hey, I'm trying to. Hey, kids.
You will never.
We're good at technology. There you go.
Armed citizenry, and you won't have a single gun down. That is nonsense. It's drivel. But I think it's worth it. I think it's worth to have a cost of, unfortunately, some gun deaths every single year, so that we can have the Second Amendment to protect our other God-given rights. That is a prudent deal. It is rational. Nobody talks like this. They live in a complete alternate universe.
And it's funny that he brings up that people live in a complete alternate universe when it is the right that is pushing that alternate universe, that you live in a bubble, that nothing ever actually happens outside of your existence. Do you want me to link the song? I don't think it's AI. Yeah, drop it in the comments. I'll open it separately first. God dang.
Turning Point USA had made a comment where they were like, Charlie Kirk has gone to heaven or accepted his place in heaven next to Jesus Christ. What are you talking about?
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's just absolutely wild and absolutely hilarious that it happened to Charlie of all people. Oh, being a target. Okay, that's what we were talking about. So,
yeah.
Kind of touching slightly on the discourse that we originally wanted to talk about today. We wanted to talk a little bit about dialectical materialism and the Burkina Faso discourse that has been happening on TikTok. And I made a video the other day, and a lot of people, of course, are taking it the wrong way, where I said that you, as a self-proclaimed Marxist, leftist, anarchist, progressive, cannot go on a public platform such as this YouTube or TikTok or Twitter and not realize that you're in the propaganda game. Whether you sign up for it or not, whether you're making memes or not, how you present yourself, how you talk, the things you say, the mistakes you make are all recorded and being watched, not only by other people who are like-minded, but by the opposition. And if you don't recognize that, you're not taking what we're doing seriously enough. See, at this point, I've shown my face on here. You've shown your face on here. We almost all of us have here at Kollectiv, and we openly
damn right I have.
are knowing. We all know that we're
DMs
we're
open.
targets. You know, don't DM Cruz.
Don't DM me anything naughty. I want to let's just chat.
They're not gonna listen to you, bro.
They're not.
This is the first time we've gone live in forever. They're not gonna listen to you. That's the thing, right? So you guys are propagandists, right? And when you're too busy being too horny, people are going to use that against you. And when you're too busy being wrong, when you're lacking nuance, when you're lacking an understanding of Marxism, it's going to affect the movement. But when you're here in general, speaking against the mainstream, speaking against the capitalist system, you're making yourself out to be a target. I mean, so many slightly more popular people than us are all over the Canary mission. It's not just the government, it's not just the CIA or FBI you have to worry about. You have to worry about other normal, quote unquote, normal people coming after you. Doxing you.
The only real difference, fundamentally, and you can challenge me on this if you two disagree, or if the chat disagrees. The only fundamental difference between us being on this TikTok talking about this stuff and us being on a stage talking about this is that we know for a fact there are no crosshairs aimed at us.
Mm-hmm. And there's going to be retaliation, like Nico was saying earlier, like either, you know, on a college campus or even someone prominent like Hassan. You know, I wouldn't be surprised.
On his stream today, he pointed out the fact that there will be retaliation, and him and many of the people that he associates with are targets of that retaliation because of their large platforms.
And this is when operational security is such a fundamental thing that you have to understand, because even in your workplace, right, we talk about radicalizing your coworkers, right, but you have to be careful of when and where you say things, especially as things get more and more violent. The DHS yesterday posted about, remember who you are, American, report your neighbors. I mean, they were doing that shit back in the day when they were like, I think Tommy's a communist. Like, that's gonna happen.
Did you hear? Little Tommy's a communist. Oh, really?
And a lot of us happen. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, like, even for me, like, I learned my lesson a long time ago because I was at a memorial service for I actually won't name them, but I was in a memorial service. I wasn't even doing like organizing or action. And after that service, I got notified by one of my friends who keeps track of what literal Nazis are posting. And they were like, hey, I need to let you know that you have been posted on a Nazi website where people are trying to identify who you are.
Yeah,
and it was just me going to memorial service.
Absolutely.
I have been recognized in public.
I haven't been recognized in public, but we've just our little YouTube channel has been recognized by other communist parties who have talked to people who know us and have said, hey, do you guys know Kollectiv? That's crazy. But it's part of what we're doing, you know? There was a comment here I wanted to address real quick from Twitch. Political assassination does not silence one man. It sure doesn't, but it sure was funny.
Well, okay, hold on. What did it say?
Political assassination does not silence one man. What?
I mean, technically,
political
it
assassination does not silence one man. It sure did.
It silences one man. It does not silence an ideology.
Right. It's okay though. You tried.
Okay, I was like, did I hear that right? Because that's not true.
But Ash brings up a good point. Ash is saying that, you know, micro creators have been targeted. It happened to me last year. Motherfuckers were on live being like, do you know where Ivan lives? Let's hang him, string him up. But like, what do you mean?
Mike, I'd let that happen.
I know you want a baby girl, but you know, still, it's just kind of like, all right, bro, like this political arena is not a game, and it's never been a game. People like us might realize that, but a lot of people don't, and that's why they're having this reaction that they think somebody getting shot or Charlie Kirk getting shot is so mind-blowing and scary, and it is scary, you know, for the stability of the country, but it's not that surprising if you've been paying attention. But Ash also says real quick, where did I put your comment? People like Madeline and Hassan are huge targets after saying even more so than they already were. Yep.
Yeah.
And they know it. And even just us little goobers are connected to them. They just texted me yesterday. So like,
you know what? I texted Madeline yesterday and they haven't responded.
Wow.
I'm calling out on live.
Call him right now.
Madeline.
I know we said 2 weeks from now, but hi.
Hey, right now.
I might bump the brakes in a while and talk about communism work for a bit. If you feel you need to do that, do that. Remember, if you're out of the game, if you're killed or made disabled to the point that you can't contribute to the work, that's a win for the ops.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
I don't believe in a notion that it's like cowardly not to. You know, sometimes it's just strategic to not talk about it. You got to pick your battles, and I'd rather you be here fighting the fight long term than losing a battle that you weren't going to win in the first place.
Exactly. Also, real quick, chat. Did you guys miss the live format? Because our retention rate is crazy right now. My coworker called me out as a communist. Say I work amongst 6 Fs. I don't know what 6 Fs is, but I'm
guessing
female, femme. Anyway, well, I mean, they read your number. I have had a hard time imagining who would get targeted because I can't think of someone as prominent as Kirk that also does lots of tours. See, but that's the thing, right? Because I brought this up to one of us in Kollectiv the other day, and Nico knows this, and I talked to you about this separately, Cruz, where some sketchy stuff was kind of happening around me. And there's an update, but I'm not giving you the update here.
Don't.
But like, there was a genuine moment where I was like, motherfuckers coming after me right now. It was a whole, I can't really go into much detail without like doxing myself more, but I'm just saying that this stuff, this paranoia, it's real.
The equivalent to respond to that, and I see Ash saying here, you don't have to be on tour to be targeted. Absolutely true. The most equivalent person would be Hassan Piker, because Hassan was scheduled, as he said in his stream today, scheduled to debate Charlie Kirk in 15 days.
Damn.
Like, and you could see, like, on his face, he was a little like, oh, fuck.
Now, this actually makes me think about the fact that I've already seen several videos from people who did like the Unfuck America tour and stuff like that, kind of like being like, I'm so sad and crying. And I'm like, I honestly think they're doing this to save face and also kind of be like, don't target me, because they're scared. They're realizing now that these aren't just debates to make money, that, you know, shit can go down.
Absolutely.
So one of two things are going to happen. Either it's going, like, the political violence is going to extremely escalate, or you start seeing some of these right-wing grifters start to kind of pull away and be like, maybe there's a better way to make money. Maybe I'll just go back to game streams.
A lot of people are going to quit. Yeah, I'm talking about Madeline Pendleton. Saltines.
Show.
You mean white people? That's true. Mastered the tactics of tactical retreat. Lenin had to do it during the literal revolution. That's true.
Yep. Lenin
what is
was
communism?
Not in Russia during the Russian Revolution, like at least the first part.
You don't have to be on tour to be targeted. That's true. Yeah. It's just bananas. I don't know. I feel like
I do kind of have a funny story from work today.
Go ahead.
As a result of this. So at my work, I work in a library, and there's a small market that the city owns next to it. And the city had a fire drill for the market, but not for the library. So I'm with my coworker. We're sitting in the sound studio, just like listening to the music, vibing, you know, doing our thing. And I get a FaceTime call from my boss. And she's outside. I'm like, what are you doing? They're like, oh, we had a fire drill, but while we were walking out for the fire drill, we were looking at our phones. Did you hear the news? And I'm like, what news? And they're like, it happened. He got shot. And they were all excited. But that's like my boss.
Mm-hmm.
My boss had to inform me. And they were so excited. And I would consider her to be like leftist, like the vague leftist term.
Yeah.
Not an outright communist or anything like that or socialist, but the fact that it was like even a relative normie was super excited about this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. What's up, Nico?
Oh no, I was going to say actually, since I was also at work, I had several coworkers that, you know, even though they're very blatantly like liberal, they all were very much like happy. They were cheerful. They realized how harmful of a person Charlie Kirk was. And even someone who didn't know who Charlie Kirk was, as soon as I mentioned Turning Point, they were just like, oh,
I know that.
they're like, I don't feel bad. And I'm like, okay, no, that's fine. I understand.
Perfect. You want to get ice cream?
Yeah. I
You deserve ice cream.
I don't feel bad whatsoever. Now, am I saying now? Let's get a few things straight, right? Let's do some housekeeping.
Okay.
Would I say that you should go on a personal crusade against all right-wing comedians and or talking heads? No. Please don't do that. Please.
Bad idea.
However, so anyway. I could be but I think the right-wing cowardice is stronger than left-wing resolve. I don't know, Crazy. I really don't know because I
forgot that was crazy.
Really? That's hilarious because I said crazy knowing that they were going to get mad that I'm saying that it's crazy instead of blocked might. And I was like, well, it's a good thing that no one else is going to say crazy. And then you just did. So that's hilarious.
Well,
but you know,
happens.
It happens.
Whoops.
No, adventurism is not helpful. You're correct. I'm being funny. I'm doing a little jolly laugh. Har har har. Adventurism isn't helpful. However,
I do want to reiterate, like, again, we don't know the motivations or political ideology of the person that did this because we don't know who did it.
They got away. They arrested 2 people. They both got arrested. I mean, they both got released.
And I also want to make a quick note. Kollectiv has done an episode about the harm of venturism. We have that available for y'all.
The way you're like, by the way, Kollectiv has done. I'm like, where are you going with this?
Yeah, both of us. Because I saw Cruz's face. I was like, what do you mean? What do you mean? What do you mean?
Sorry.
Yeah. Yeesh. Remember the time we ran gun? Yeah, no. Anyway.
Yeah, I'd obviously say that.
But yeah, we did do an episode about the harms of adventurism. If you like, those of you who are new, lurking and not talking, we have a lot of episodes, pretty big backlog for the last 2 years. So please go ahead and check those out. Some episodes are much better than others. Don't worry about it. Just enjoy it.
That's the thrill of being live. You know, sometimes it's good, sometimes it's. But it'd be like that.
I remember our worst one, but I'll it's not even funny. It just wasn't interesting. We were just like reading the news. But anyway,
I know which one you're talking about.
Yeah. Everyone's assuming they're a leftist. That's true. Exactly. We don't know who it is because they haven't been caught. And I hope they don't pull a Luigi and are just like chilling in a McDonald's allegedly with their manifesto. But I don't think Buddy personally did it. And their trial is next week.
And like I said, you know, Elon Musk is already saying like it's the left. It doesn't matter who did it to them. They're going to just blame the left. And then anyone that's vaguely left, they're going to go after.
Especially, let's say it was like a full-blown Nazi, right? Like fucking bonehead and all. They're just going to be like, see, the left are Nazis. So,
yeah. No matter what, if you're on the left, you're blamed.
Yep. Oh, goodness gracious. What a shit show. What if they're not thirst trappable? Yeah, like, are you saying what if they're ugly?
What if they don't have washboard abs?
I don't think, you know, TikTok's that interested in washboard abs. You know, I think it's more in like
Okay.
your face.
Hot take.
You know, if you cutie patootie.
I don't know.
You know,
When
I have
when
a
the
single
Luigi
washboard
photos-
ab. So
when the Luigi videos were getting shared, they were sharing that shirtless one of him on the mountain.
they sure
Okay?
were.
I saw that.
Did
on
you
line.
see?
That wasn't because of his face.
Did you see? I don't remember what company it
What if they
was.
don't have aura?
It was, I think it was Jean. I don't know, some clothing company where they posted a bunch of pictures of like modeling their clothes, and all of it was Luigi's face. But like it clear, like, and they had to pull everything off because, like, obviously not. I just think that's funny. What do they?
I do
alpha male energy
to kind of pull away just a little bit. You know, me and Ivan, we meet up every now and again. We like hanging out, and usually when we hang up, we go shooting. Hang out, we go shooting. That was a 200-yard shot. That was pretty impressive. Like, I'm just
damn,
bro. Like, from a technical standpoint, like, holy shit, dude.
He was going for his head.
So to answer Ash, what if they don't have aura? I don't know. That's some aura to me.
That's a sick shot. Yeah. We were discussing what caliber he used. I want to say like a 308, especially from 200 yards. Somebody was telling me that he would have definitely flown off the chair if it was, but at 200 yards, I'm like,
I'll say 9
a
mil.
lot of 9 mil, really?
I think a 9 mil, because I agree with that. 308, he would have been like,
even at 200 yards, you think? I don't know. I don't have experience
there's
with
a lot of
308.
power. There's a lot of power behind it.
Yeah.
You know what, Ash? You're right. Or she. I never considered that Dr.
You know
Pepper
what?
could be a
You're
woman.
right.
I never considered that Dr. Pepper could be a woman, and I'm the problem.
I understand. I hear you. We need to give the girls their credit. Speaking of giving girls the credit, right? The first episode of Gossip Gulag, of Boys Club, was about Charlie Kirk meeting with Gavin Newsom on Gavin Newsom's podcast. And on that podcast, Charlie Kirk is being openly transphobic, is openly discussing how trans people are bad and they should be removed from, you know, sports, and sports becomes school, and school becomes society, and et cetera, et cetera. And Gavin Newsom the whole time is like, oh, yes, very interesting. Are you going to vote for me in the next election? Go back and watch that first episode, because Gavin Newsom is one of the first people to say, oh, thoughts and prayers to Charlie Kirk. Well, of course he would, because they're buddies, because their ideology is the same, because Democrats are right wing. Gavin Newsom tweeted out, political violence is never acceptable. And I'm not saying it's acceptable, but he tweets out, it's never acceptable. Was it acceptable for him to personally do a photo shoot destroying homeless encampments? Is that not political violence?
Mm-hmm. No, it's like I do, since being part of the Boys Club. I remember distinctly in that podcast, like listening to Gavin Newsom's podcast, being kind of shocked that he opens with him talking about how much his 13-year-old son loves Charlie Kirk.
Yeah, you don't think that's a fucking problem? Like, it's
the
the same
Gavin
thing.
Newsom tweeted today, it's like, oh my god, this is deplorable, like whoever did this, blah, blah, like stuff like that. Like, they're coming to the Charlie Kirk's defense.
Yeah, exactly. It reminds me of the clip of when Sneeko, you guys know who Sneeko is?
Yep.
When Sneeko had met some really young fans, like 6 or 7 years old, and they were just saying the F slur and like all crazy things about women. And even Sneeko like looked at the camera and was like, oh shit, like I caused this. So a 13-year-old, one, really has no business in, I don't want to say serious politics, but like, you know, the politics of like who is a person. You know, you can get a 13-year-old, I think, involved in, and maybe the beginnings of those kind of conversations, you know, like the school needs a new ramp, you know, like that kind of stuff. But like hardcore, like debating, even if it was like an anti-white supremacist, you know, person, a child should not be exposed to that.
No,
if it could be helped, right? This is a child who is watching a white supremacist and saying to their father, the governor of California, that they love Charlie Kirk.
and nothing's done about it.
Right.
No conversation like, oh, well, let's talk about his views. Let's like, do you understand like those are wrong, or like how do you feel about like that there's no that parental conversation. Because having been a parent, your kids are going to come up to you and say some wild shit sometimes. Like, and it's your job as a parent, Gavin Newsom included, to challenge that and help guide them into a better way of thinking. Now, obviously, you can't control it. The best parent I know is Conrad Ash here, obviously, but like, you got to do your best. And Gavin Newsom has chosen the path of doing absolutely nothing.
Mm-hmm. No, in fact, encouraging it, because they say blatantly, like, I invited you to my podcast for the first episode because my son loves you so much.
Yeah. So
I'm going to find that.
Lumpy here says Mom Donnie did too.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Fucking Firefox won't be able to show it. Yeah, Mondami also said the same thing. Political violence is never. You want me to stop the stream and go over to
like
Edge?
For next time, everyone bully Ivan into
for next time using... I will. No, I'll shut this whole thing down right now.
I use Opera GX.
I'm using my phone.
Mondami, the secret communist. Oh God, gosh dang. Nick Rubidoux is in the chat. What up, dude? His last 24 hours, our tweets are just trying to foment violence against black people.
Whose tweets? Charlie?
Whose tweets? Charlie? Yeah. Newsom? I doubt it.
We threw a lot of names out there.
Yeah. Coco says 110%. I don't know to what, but I'm gonna take the compliment anyway. LOL. He really went out just spewing hate. Nobody of good conscience will remember him. Just another Rush Limbaugh. Yep.
Okay, so I'm guessing Charlie Kirk.
Yeah.
Newsom agreed with Kirk 99% of the time. That's true. Ash says, thank you. Does it remind you all of that one woman in New York City that was rage baiting and she got jaw checked? Which one was that?
I think I know what you're talking about.
Really, Ivan? Firefox?
I can't believe it.
Wasn't Newsom married to Kimberly Guilfoyle? Is this true?
I don't know who that is.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know who that is.
It was Charlie's.
Okay, Charlie.
ML Mondami Leninist. That's me, bro. Yeah, New York, where it's at.
I'm a Marxist Mondamnist.
The stabbing in New York. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that stabbing was also brutal. Like
just with the Ukrainian refugee.
Yes.
So that's like a whole other thing too that I've been getting in arguments with liberals about, because like, yeah, that's a really fucked up thing and that shouldn't have happened, right? Like, don't get me wrong, but the only reason I feel like it's news is because it was a white woman, when black and brown and native women be dying every day. They be getting stabbed every day, getting kidnapped every day. Gazans get blown up every day.
I was sad when I heard about it. I was a little confused when they said Ukrainian refugee, because I was like, I feel like that's not relevant to what happened there.
Well, it's political.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, this poor Ukrainian refugee, you know, came to war and came over here in order to, you know, have a better life, and then she was killed by a evil person, and they definitely use different language. You can infer.
What do you think about, you know, because I feel like we talked everything we can about Charlie Kirk, but just some quick news. Apparently, you see the Russia-Poland stuff?
Oh, I did. That was last night.
I heard military exercise near the border, but all the news articles are like, Russia attacked Poland. And I was like, I don't think that happened.
Oh, did everyone forget, like 2 years ago, a missile landed in Poland?
Yeah.
World War III.
They're right there.
Right.
Like, the border's right there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Answer the question, everybody. Did you miss the live format?
Answer now or Cruz gets it.
I don't want to be Kirk.
Damn.
I am not a Kirk.
Answer now or I'll give Cruz the Kirk treatment. I am not Kirk. That's stupid. These youngins
was-
aren't going to get that. But
that was dumb
I
as fuck.
appreciate
I'm
it.
sorry, everybody.
No, don't be
I
apologizing.
want you to know, everyone,
I can't miss what I've never
despite
had
the way
before.
I look, I'm old.
Well, listen, I'm glad you're here, critical intelligence. Don't Kirk him, LOL. All right. What is our wrapping up thoughts? Yeah, everyone's freaking out because Russia's gonna invade Poland or whatever. Russia's not gonna invade Poland.
I don't give a fuck. Hope,
and
maybe they
even
do, maybe
then-
they don't. I don't give a shit.
I don't care for Europe.
I'm busy. Like we're
I got
getting,
a story about.
Free
there's
Ireland.
a lot happening right here. Free Ireland. Free
That's
Palestine,
all I got, Chief. Yeah, like
26
that,
plus 6 is 1.
Free Sudan.
who cares about Poland? Like, no, like
Congo.
for real. Someone's gonna be here being like, "I'm Polish." Well, that's your fault. Aw, thanks. I caught Ash's TikTok post too late. It's all good, Chief. Follow
Guess
us.
what? We do this mostly every week.
Follow us on our
Mm.
Discord, which I'll put in the updated description when this goes not live anymore, which should be any minute now.
And be sure, everyone, please listen to the Wonderful Boys Club episode about Charlie Kirk and Gavin Newsom, because it will provide a lot of insight of just what kind of people they are.
And
absolutely.
the boys club in general is a lot more organized, and besides me and Cruz being like, I guess we'll do a podcast. So go
Unlike
ahead
the
and listen to
men,
the smart people.
unlike the men, the women and femme presenting people are far more capable than we are at doing anything.
Yeah. Thumbs up plus. All right. Be good. Hopefully shit doesn't get crazy overnight, but who fucking knows in this topsy-turvy ass world. And if you didn't figure it out, we are communists. Goodbye.
I feel like centuries are happening.
Finger red number 1. What the hell does that mean?
I guess we'll never find out.
Hit the button.